And you'll be glad to know that this is the last module, Module 14, Documentation, which is Principle 7, Establish Documentation. So the aim of this unit is to understand how to establish documentation concerning all procedures and records appropriate to these principles and their application. By the end of this unit, you should be able to explain the need for documentation of HACCP systems, name the different types of documentation required to support the HACCP plan, explain how to store completed records, and identify the need for keeping documentation up to date and removing obsolete instructions. So documentation is essential to the application of the HACCP system. It's one of the principles, Principle 7. It's appropriate or must be appropriate to the size and nature of the business. It's required for company policy, verification and internal audits, complaint, illness investigation, due diligence, legal compliance, for external auditors and environmental health officer or practitioner as they now like to be called. Documentation to support the HACCP study includes the HACCP plan, floor plan, prerequisite programs, audit reports of suppliers, monitoring records, deliveries, specifications, CCP monitoring activities, deviations and corrective actions, audit reports of operation, customer complaints, monitoring activities from prerequisite programs, and all monitoring records must be signed and dated. So the HACCP plan, what is this? It is all about the HACCP team and the responsibilities. It should show the scope and terms of reference, the product and process description, flow diagrams, consumers, hazard analysis and critical control point determination, critical limits and targets, deviations and corrective actions, monitoring and record keeping procedures, reasons for critical decisions, modifications, and validation, verification and review procedures. Failure in implementing HACCP, poor hygiene practices, which are part of the prerequisite programs, lack of management commitment. So all of these could cause a failure in implementing HACCP. Externally imposed rather than being internally worked out with the team. Lack of resources, too complex, not understood. Lack of knowledge or training. Poor records, too much paperwork. System sits in manager's office. It should be part of the team. Too many critical control points. Keep it to a minimum, no more than about 6. Unreliable critical limits. So the key points of this last section, which is documentation. The need for documentation for HACCP systems is critical because it is part of HACCP, the 7th principle. The different types of documentation required to support the HACCP plan. How to store completed records, the need for keeping documentation up to date and removing obsolete instructions. So thank you for coming on this course. The next couple of slides now will be some questions and answers that you can try if you like. There's also some questions and answers in the document you downloaded on the first slide. So thank you for joining the course and good luck with the exam.